Good evening, my friend.
Hello.
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 How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like doing this today.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Oh yeah.
I did, yes.
Why?
Because I did it last week when I didn't feel like doing it, but I actually had a good excuse that I was recovering from the flu.
You've been recovering from flu
Can I
for
just
the
say?
last 3 weeks, I think.
No, it lasted like 4 days. But can I just say, Wes Butman, great guy, amazing guy,
Yeah, you can say that.
great friend. He does software and products. Does a tremendous job doing products. Ships them to China.
Where are you going with this, man?
Inauguration, man.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think I'm going? Did you see some clips, or did you watch the whole thing? Did you stay up
No, I didn't.
like a fanboy with your MAGA T-shirt? Oh no, your MAGA T-shirt, right?
My mega
Make
t-shirt.
Europe great again.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched that much. I saw that he signed a lot of executive orders.
Yeah, right. Sorry, yeah. Or else we
Gotta
won't get paid. But
get
yeah.
that promotion in. But I don't know. Yeah, I saw that Melania was wearing some kind of V for Vendetta outfit, and if that
Yes.
was on purpose, she has my like.
She has your
But-
like. She does.
Yeah. Yes, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
My God.
I saw some things.
You saw some things.
I saw some things
Congratulations,
coming by
man.
on X.
Anything?
but-
Anything specific that you want to share? Or
Well, I liked what was happening with like the executive orders, where they. I think one was regarding working from home policies within the government. One was regarding a pause on new regulations and rules, and felt like there were some good ones.
wasn't it like some crazy number, like 100 plus executive orders that he signed on his first day in office? Because I saw someone posted a thread about this, actually, listing literally every executive order that Trump signed. I mean, it's all for show. Of course.
I've got the thread in front of me now, but it doesn't say how many there were.
Okay, well, we can wait. You can count them, so we have the exact number.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. We can also just do it live.
Try speaking directly into the mic, please.
Yeah, dude, that's
I'm losing you.
a tough one for me.
I know. How hard can it be? One would ask, but
One that I thought was specifically interesting was that one for promoting beautiful federal civic architecture. I did not expect that to happen.
Yes, that's a good one. I didn't see that one coming either.
I
But
felt like I was always alone on that topic, that like aesthetics, beautiful architecture is actually making people feel better,
yes, more inspired,
productive, more inspired,
more grateful,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
mindful of their environment, probably
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. And then if you look at the brutalist architecture of a lot of governmental buildings, dude, it's depressing, man. I've actually been in Kharkov in Ukraine a while ago, and that was a similar thing, man. I mean, obviously, there's all this like Soviet era architecture, and then these large government buildings where like having this brutalist design that somehow has something cool to it, but dude, it's I mean, I find it quite depressing. So yeah, I saw this one and I was like, okay, nice.
Well, it's common for sort of regimes or societies that are, sort of, I guess, collectivist in nature, right? That because it's all about the collective and the greater good, you can't have people worshipping someone else or something else. I mean, so the whole philosophy behind that type of architecture, and I think the Bauhaus style also is from that same school of thought, is about basically numbing the soul, right? It's this weird mix of everything has to be efficient, but it's also very soulless, I guess. So I agree with you. I think that architecture is a very important aspect of a thriving civilization.
Yeah, But then still, there can, like something about brutalist design can be very cool.
As a concept, sort of.
And
As a,
I've been in a hotel in Thailand. That was just like this brutalist building in the middle of like jungle. Just so well done. Like all the interior was spot on, and then I thought, okay, it can be something very cool. But 99 out of 100 times it's just mind numbing.
yeah, there's only so much sprinkles you can put on a turd, of course. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Listen, I like the mixes of styles and architecture as well. I have two great friends, and they have a architectural agency. I think I showed you some work.
Yeah.
And they design these crazy villas, for the 1%. They're doing well, these guys. Good brand. I actually did that rebranding with my former agency. It was a very cool project. And it really helped them as well. They mention that often. But they have this great blend of, modern architecture with more traditional elements. But it's just well done. Like they created a completely new style of their own. And I think they were very, very early with using that steel frame building technique. So you have these very large, what's the English word for it? This over, where a floor is just hanging without support beams or something, or without supporting walls. So it looks a little bit futuristic as well. It's well done. So I'm not saying there's no modern architecture that gets my seal of approval, but it's just, But I mean, so back to that executive order. Did you read it, or do you have some notes of it? What does it actually say?
Let me see.
That was a
I didn't make a note of it. I just got my eye.
disappointing, man. No, we can look it up.
I'm not that thorough, man. I had some work to do today.
Busy times.
Let me see. What does it say? Promote beautiful civic architectural. Okay. For staff to submit to me within 60 days recommendations to advance the policy that federal public buildings should be visually identifiable as civic buildings and respect regional, traditional, and classical architectural heritage in order to uplift and beautify public spaces and ennoble the United States and our system of self-government. Okay.
It gets my seal of approval. As much as I am for limiting government spending, this has my seal of approval because it actually would provide value.
Yeah, and then if people come back and work from the office, then
That's right. That's a nice little bridge there, because that's another one, right? So all work from home for federal workers is suspended.
Yeah, dude, you're asking me like I'm the expert here, but
well, okay. Well, I was under the impression that you sort of learned all 100 plus executive orders by heart.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll look it up, man. I have the thread here. So
I did see that there was a.
There's a lot of there as well. Oh.
Like, not even a single government office building was filled with 50% of workers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. It's like, what are these people doing? I read stories of governmental workers needing to come in like one day a month. So then they would come like one day at the end of the month and one day of the beginning of the month, and then they could basically stay away for 2 months.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know what is true from it, but like if this truly happens, then I understand it's absolutely bananas, right?
Yeah. It sounds like it's completely defunct. Like, that series, The Wire?
Yeah.
Where like every department, it was just such a bleak picture of society and especially the system and this, where every sort of element of the system was completely defunct. It was all just slowly creeping, and it was fully corrupted, and nothing was actually really working. People were basically
they weren't working from home though.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. It was kind of the pre-internet era, at least the early internet days. Well, I have some interesting ones here as well, because they also did a hiring freeze. So a temporary freeze of hiring until the new administration is fully in place. Within 90 days of the date of this memorandum, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, what a name, by the way, for all, in consultation with the director of the OPM and the administrator of the United States DOGE service, there it is, DOGE, shall submit a plan to reduce the size of the federal government's workforce through efficiency improvements and attrition. Well, Elon and his buddies, they don't waste any time because they're going right into it. And we talked about it earlier on the podcast. Can Doge bring private sector efficiency to government systems? No, they can't, of course, not fully. But I'm just super curious, only for entertainment purposes, super curious to see how far they can push it.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see, and I think we're now witnessing what Milei is basically pulling off in Argentina.
Yeah,
and it will be cool to see something like that happening in the West, and especially for us in Europe, seeing the US actually going in hyper acceleration mode.
there it is.
It's I truly hope that they will, because I feel like the West in general became this, like, I don't know, feels like something lethargic or something, and it would be nice to see the US actually pulling this thing off and basically kicking us a little bit in some higher gear or something. Like,
I get what you mean.
it's time for someone to lead by example, and I think we have we can pull some inspiration from what Mila is doing, and us. Well, I wouldn't say us, but here in bureaucratic Europe, it would be nice to see what the effect is going to be here.
I agree. My prediction is that the coming years will be quite rough for Europe because they will, because there's only one way to, you have to face the consequences of certain, long-standing policies. And the only way to face them is to feel them, I'm afraid. So, America will probably be very strict. They have been reshoring their manufacturing. They will now get very strict on tariffs. Protectionist measures, basically. They will drill. They will sort of increase that drilling for oil, the fracking, all of that. They will accelerate. Whatever way you feel about it, they will economically accelerate, and that will mean that relative to the US, Europe's position will get even weaker. But I think that unfortunately that is necessary. So I think we just have to deal with that. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. I think the US becoming sort of a guiding light in this era of how to actually do it, how to actually accelerate free market capitalism. That will ultimately help us, but it will be tough love, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I think that's exactly what we need here.
There's no other option.
And obviously you have these pockets in Europe, like here in Amsterdam, where you feel relatively little of all the bureaucratic nonsense in Europe. But
well, don't say that too soon. We'll see.
Yeah, but you see people thrive here, like you can make it happen here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, nevertheless, it's just annoying to see Europe going down this road, and it would be super nice to see that when the US actually making a great example that things can become more efficient, and you can actually push your local industries towards new highs. Like, what do we need to do here then? I mean, you got to get into a certain gear to not be left behind, right? I mean, 2008 we were on par with each other, and now we're like far beyond. What is it, like the difference? Like something like
we talked about it
10 trillion or something
in an earlier episode. It's a double-digit percentage for sure.
I think it's like 16 trillion GDP for Europe and 26 or 27 for US, something like that.
Yeah. Well, we have more people here in just the EU, not even talking about larger, broader Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. How I feel about it. But good for America. I wish them a lot of success. And obviously, let's not forget, we do quite a lot of business with US companies as well.
Yeah.
And that's actually increasing. So, planning to go there a little bit more often coming year. So, yeah, It's. I'm curious to see, man. We're gonna just keep following it and from time to time check in on it and talk about it here.
Yeah.
Well, let's stay closer to home. What have you been up to this week? What day is it? Jesus, it's Tuesday only.
Dude,
I worked over the weekend, so it feels like it's just one.
Yeah, I had the same thing, man. I'm absolutely tired, but it was a long weekend. But dude, I've been in meetings all day yesterday. Today I tried to do some work. It feels like a chaotic week.
Mm.
To say the
Yeah, but
least.
you also had quite a productive couple of days of writing. I saw 2 new articles pop up in my feed.
Yeah.
In the engagement pod in our Slack.
Yeah.
So we have this guy who is, good in all kinds of automation stuff, and he made all these very funny little nudges in Slack whenever we post something or when we close a deal. Makes me laugh. Like I see all these emojis pop up, like all these automations that he put in.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a little bit of banter.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, I wrote 2 blogs. I just felt like writing yesterday. There were some things I had to do according to the content planning, and there's this. I wrote this newsletter about vertical SaaS, which I thought was well received. So I thought turn it into a blog. On the other hand, I saw like Trump coin going absolutely bananas, and I have this thing for a while, because the original ethos of crypto, I find it very intriguing, and compared to the current state of crypto, it's just pure contrast, right? So there was this Trump coin. What I don't even know what the market value, the total market value was that was captured, but it was insane, and those that can basically get attention these days can lead masses into a certain direction, right? But then often this direction is not really good for the people. I mean, what is this what is the utility of this Trump coin?
There's none, but for me that's not a surprise.
No, it is
literally a meme coin. The utility is probably memeing,
of course,
and posting about it on X and something.
But it also sends some kind of message, I guess. Like with the president being pro-crypto, and you probably see something of that in terms of lower barriers of by cutting down on some regulations or something. I have no idea what this is gonna look like, but
they added
it's gonna do something positive for crypto.
Well, they added some stuff to the National Reserve. Some coins. Wrap Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some I don't know actually, a couple of coins. They added quite a significant portions to their Federal Reserve, Strategic Reserve. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I saw the announcement today. Other than that, I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's just another meme coin, I guess.
Yep.
And I find it depressing, man. That whole scene that was once feeling like some cyberpunk. Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe a little bit anarcho-capitalistic kind of vibe.
I know you like that stuff.
And intriguing, and something that I don't know. I felt very promising as well. Promising technology. And then if you compare to the current state of it, it's just what the fuck happened, man? I don't find it interesting anymore at all. And I think many that have been witnessing this whole journey of crypto probably feel the same. And then you have a couple of protocols that are very promising in terms of certain characteristics that I think internet money needs to have, privacy, so private by default, which also leads to fungibility, every unit is equal to another, which with Bitcoin is not the case. I mean, not even talking about meme coins, but yeah, I wonder what is going to happen in the upcoming years, because let's say there will be lesser regulation on it. There will be more innovation in it. Will we see less greed and all this financial nihilism and all this degenerate gambling and meme coins? And I don't think it does anything good for the original promise of crypto, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to witness what's going to happen in the upcoming years, and yeah, let's see. Who knows? Maybe it takes a turn, right? Crypto, yeah. What?
No, man, it's great to hear you talk about it. I mean, I really don't keep up anymore, but I agree with what you're saying. It all seems very trivial, and I didn't really see any use case or any form of adoption that you could actually take serious when you measure it to the real world. So that's a shame.
Yeah, well, the only form of adoption that I find interesting, well, I wouldn't say the only one, but one that I find very interesting is the adoption in darknet markets. And the only crypto protocol that pulled that off before was Bitcoin, which is now being ditched because it's so transparent. And then you have like protocols like Monero. Maybe it's the only one, I don't know, but that one is actually being used by darknet markets. And I feel like it's this whole thing, like markets can stay super irrational for a long time, but then privacy is such a thing that no one thinks they need until they suddenly need it. And I think, darknet markets, whether illegal or not, I mean, they just found out that they needed like a private form of e-cash, like electronic cash. And so I don't know. I find it a great indicator to see what they are using. And if you want to have some form of electronic cash, it needs to be private. So it's not that weird to look at those markets, right?
Right.
Anyhow, end of rant. I mean, I get it. I mean, the whole crypto space just looks like, dude,
it's an
absolutely
absolute
idiotic
clown show. You know
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
You know what? I also worked for some, I guess you could call it blockchain or crypto projects in the past. Even went to Switzerland and that crypto hub there to do a project for a couple of days, and that also turned out to be a scam.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get scammed; we got paid
in crypto.
in part, in part, which was also not exactly the agreement, but okay. At the end of the day, we got paid.
Yeah.
But was it a hassle, and was it a bit, I don't know, tricky? Probably, but we got paid, so no complaints there. But it turned out that was just, another ICO scam. So it was around that time, those years, I was like, okay. That I was really starting to ask myself the fundamental questions about intrinsic value and all of that, and usability.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as it goes for me.
Yeah, but if I put on my tinfoil hat,
There we go. I can't get this guy to stop about crypto, but go ahead.
I do sometimes feel like this whole mania that's going on right now, this clown show that you call it, like sometimes I'm just thinking like, isn't this like a total psyops? Because in a way, like this is a technology that is actually able to like basically separate money from the state, and I find that interesting. And then I think, could it be that this whole fucking mania is just one big psyops? I don't know, but that's my tinfoil hat speaking. But
the state is exceptionally good in tracking down assets, and people who tell you that they are unable to track down those kind of digital assets is basically not very well versed.
Well, if you still think that Bitcoin is like not traceable, then you're an absolute idiot.
Of course you are. I mean, it's the same.
But
powers,
that's what everyone thinks when they buy it.
Yeah, the same powers that sort of are the financial establishment are the ones with that, with the biggest hand in, Bitcoin owning it, but not only literally influencing the protocol changes over the years, but we should probably let someone like Justin Bonds or someone get on the pod and lecture us about it, because guys like him, they know a lot. They have quite a clear understanding of how all of that went from the original protocol, which was peer-to-peer electronic cash, and it was meant to scale, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was meant to scale, and then it got neutered. It got hijacked, and it got neutered, and now it's completely unusable.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, I've always been quite involved with it, and also looking back at that Bitcoin fork with Roger Ver preaching for Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
I mean, the more time is passing, the more I'm feeling maybe that guy was right about things.
Yeah, they were right, of course.
And it's a messy game. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, that's probably a great way to end it. Sorry for. I mean, it's just I don't have a lot to contribute, I guess, in this discussion or debate because.
Who was that guy you were talking about?
Justin Bonds.
Yeah, well, let's invite him. Maybe
yeah,
we
man.
can have a little chat.
He's a Dutch guy and he's very knowledgeable. He has a very philosophic take, and I think because he's a sort of a polymath figure, I think you need to be some sort of a polymath to truly understand it. To truly understand the implication, because there's also the law, there's also the framework of law, so that you also need. It's not just technology or code. Code is not law. So you need to have sort of a broader understanding of the financial system, the legal system, in order to understand what will work in such a framework. And then of course you have the school of thought where it's the anarcho-capitalists, like you mentioned, who are actually have the premise, we can operate completely outside of the state. As much as I might sort of, I am not against a state or I'm not against a rule of law, unless it checks certain boxes and it isn't sort of too pervasive or unchecked. So I'm not. I don't think it's a great. Here we go. I don't want to get dragged into the rabbit hole. No. But I think that's quite a utopia to think that you can actually be completely separate when it comes to a global cash system or something. Of course, at small scale you can do. You and me can now buy a plot of land somewhere, like very remote, with very little infrastructure around us, and we form a community like Charles Manson, and at small scale you can trade with each other. Maybe you pull it off to find establish some sort of trading method with the village next to you. Sure, of course. And then you have off-grid solar panels and all of that, and then you are largely free from the statist system. But on a global scale, that is completely impossible.
No,
it's a complete utopia.
Yeah, of course.
So even if I would agree with it, I would think that's a good idea. It's still impossible. But Jesus, I'm not going to clip this part because you get all these trolls and all these bots in your comments.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
But that's also why I don't write that much about crypto anymore, because it's just like, I mean, even if you want to weigh in on some kind of discussion that's going on online. Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I gave up, man. It's just like all
absolutely swamped by bots.
But also just
brain dead
people that are shilling like another meme coin that they probably bought like a few $100s off of. Dude, it's just it's insane. It's just
it just makes me nauseous, like literally sick to the stomach when I just see that whole all these anonymous accounts with all these handles, with all these stickers, symbols, and it just drives me when I see them. It's like this is psychopathic, this is pathologic.
There's something very, very dark there.
Right?
This is a weird mix of greed and, like I said, financial nihilism, and
that's a good one.
It's just it's very odd to witness. And
it is odd.
I remember when we, like a friend of mine discovered Bitcoin, and we were having an office together, and we were actually promoting it to like the barbers next door to accept Bitcoin. It was like 2012 or something, you know, like very cool. It was just cool stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't see that vibe anymore. And but some kind of
because it's not a working protocol anymore.
No,
it's literally a neutered protocol that you cannot use for peer-to-peer.
But you can, like, let's talk Monero. You can use that as peer-to-peer cash. Yeah. So Monero leverages this like specific way of mining that you can basically do on your computer. Well, if you mine Bitcoin, you need these like hyper specialized machines, ASIC miners they're called. And that's just like throttling decentralization. And it's still, regarding your question, it's proof of work, but it has like a different mining algorithm than Bitcoin, making it more prone for like home mining, so to say, for lack of a better word. But I do think with the the forecast of CBDCs and whatnot, it is nice to have a crypto based contender that can be some form of electronic peer-to-peer cash. And I find it weird that this doesn't interest.
No, it does, but probably in a different way, because the original Bitcoin protocol was meant to be like this, was meant to scale on chain. And so, and again, in my opinion, it got hijacked and neutered. And then, of course, you had Roger Ver and with the Bitcoin Cash split, and they wanted to sort of somewhat restore the original protocol, but then you had a split in Bitcoin Cash as well. And then you had BSV, and technically speaking, I think BSV is actually the closest to the original protocol, also in vision of developing it further and scaling it. However, I mean, there's no traction there. So I don't really see anything that really interests me in that sense, because I think that the whole store of value narrative for the current what we call BTC, is not very strong, because it has no utility. And so the utility, if something has utility, then it also becomes a store of value. So if you, for example, if you, as per the original Bitcoin protocol, you could use it as for frictionless micropayments, peer-to-peer electronic cash, then it would automatically become a store of value, because it has such strong utility. If something doesn't have utility, then I'm having a hard time seeing what the intrinsic value would be.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but that's the whole narrative that we're now sailing on, right?
Yeah, but it was never the original narrative.
The new gold and like.
Yeah,
but then if utility intrigues you, then I mean, if you look at Monero, it's being
not financial
used.
advice.
It's being used, and that always has been for me
but they also sort of banned it from a lot of places where you can buy it, right? It's kind of pushed back.
It's being delisted from a lot of exchanges.
Yeah. Because it has utility.
Well,
probably.
It's also due to new regulatory frameworks. I think MiCAR, which is rolled out in Europe, is not specifically banning privacy coins, but it becomes very hard for these centralized exchanges to comply with these regulations, because it's not transparent. And in Europe you hardly can buy it on exchanges, if you even can. But like back to your point, if utility is something that drives you, I see the case for this.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we're talking way too long about crypto. How was your day?
Well, it was good up until now. No, man. I appreciate you talking about it in this way, because I know that you are also looking for stuff that has actual value, or that, can make lives better, whatever, and not the bucket shop casino type of scammy vibes that you see now. So I appreciate it. It's just, the reason I'm probably not as engaging with this topic is because because I'm a bit disillusioned about it, and I don't really see,
this exactly is what I find, what I see everywhere. Any sane person, is appalled by everything that's happening.
It has, as you said, it has something dark in it.
It has something very dark.
Yeah.
Something nihilistic.
Oh well,
dude. Anyhow, it is what it is. But still cool.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? We're talking way too long about crypto.
Yeah, you already said that. We're still talking about it.
Yeah, because you went on and on.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. It's because I do feel the urge to engage with you, but at the same time I also feel appalled by it, and I just want to move away from this as quickly as possible. It's a bit of a weird. Yeah, I get it. My day was good. Yeah, I mean,
what have you been doing?
It was productive. I had what haven't? Well, we're doing a big push for our new. We rolled out a new services structure at NOCO, and this means that you get a chain of events that you have to work on. So we're now working on the new services pages for our website. We're drastically simplifying them, which is super refreshing.
Yeah, I saw those. Those look sexy.
Yeah, they do. Jelle did he was feeling especially saucy these days.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Great
he
output.
give it a nice little rub. And then typically, whenever we do a design project together, I just at some point he just tags me in the Figma file, and I just jump in and go, put down some copy, because I love, doing these high over copy efforts, fresh. When the design file is still fresh, when you can still smell the paint. Because I write best when I see visuals around me, because I truly believe in the synergy between those two, between banger copy lines and banger design. So I love actually doing the writing in Figma, and then of course I have my notepad and stuff where I just scribble around. So that was I had fun with that for several hours today, and I think 90% is done. We'll give it a good rub tomorrow, finalize it, and then it's good to go for development, and we can put those babies live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, drastically simplifying it, doing some A/B testing as well there. I mean, it's just like we do with the process is basically just like we do with our customers. You design, you develop in Webflow, and you right away, you just implement the tech stack. Well, we already have it implemented for our own website, and just start testing it, start doing experiments, running A/B tests, setting some traffic here and there, see what works best. Sometimes it's copy you want to test, different angles. Sometimes it's just, CTA blocks or whatever. But it's fun, man. I enjoy doing that. That's one of the things that I love writing copy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also basically completely baked in your DNA, I guess, because you've been doing that your entire career.
Yeah, I had during my college days, the first sort of, I guess, business I started, just a freelance business, was copywriting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a pretty strong URL. Well, it wasn't Dutch, but
What was it?
Bedrijfstekst.nl. So translated in English, that is something like, company text.
Company copy.
Yeah, I mean,
company copy.
Yeah, company copy would have been a nice alliteration, but no, literally translated business text.
Yeah.
And .nl. I still have it, I think. If not, you can take it. But that was fun. And I started working for a couple of small agencies, locally, and that kind of got me into the agency way of doing things.
Yeah, the creative agency.
Yeah, and that's actually where I met my former associate, one of those agencies, and we ended up founding our own agency together. Now that I think about it, I always did copy. I mean, I always was just a creative kid. I always was very conceptual and very much into storytelling and just, capturing something into words. But, as you do other things and you got different responsibilities, then you sort of get away from that, the nitty gritty of it. But whenever I do it, I just feel, it feels nice to just polish, and play with words and just look at it from switch up some words, switch up the order of words, see how it fits with the interpunction, with the line breaks,
M dashes,
some M dashes in there. Yeah, man, completely.
You cannot use them anymore, man.
No, you can't use them anymore. They were very useful, but thanks to Sam Altman and ChatGPT, it's completely ruined.
I love
ruined
M dashes. I love them.
I
love using them.
They are very useful.
They're so aesthetically pleasing in your text.
They're very distinct in the text.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But now when I see it, it's just
it's completely
generated. Fuck this shit.
Right away.
I'm not gonna read it.
It's a
I'm not gonna read this text.
It's a dead giveaway. Yeah.
So no ambitious.
No, but that was fun, and but also let's talk about vertical AI. Because you and me, I kind of sort of piggybacked off what you were doing because you wrote a blog about it, and I was writing your draft, and I had a newsletter to write as well and a blog to write as well. So I'm like, okay, this is good for me to write from the no-code angle, because for me there are other considerations. For me, when I say me, I mean our customer base.
Yeah.
Because obviously, sort of the rise of vertical AI has direct impact on the SaaS industry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
yeah, we both wrote about that.
Yeah, but yeah, I talked to a couple of people in only like a short time that wanted to build something that I don't want to get too specific here. Wanted to build something that serves their entire company, all the entire throughput of that company in a specific domain, and like all these people I've talked to had the same thing, like they use like multiple tools, products for that throughput. Some worked for clients as a service business that also required them to log out and log in like multiple different accounts of the same tool. And I was like, holy shit, man, there's just like so much friction between all these tools, because they can still be all interconnected and all, but like where's your single source of truth? Certain features are not working properly because they're connected to another tool that doesn't support that. And there's just you can just see that there's a craving within certain domains for tools that are more vertically aligned with their business instead of like doing one specific part. And also, if you look at let's say if you want to automate things in the business, it goes way better when you have a tool that is like both connected with part A of the business and part B of the business, instead of like having different tools for those parts. And I mean, you see a lot of people talking about it now, but I think the one that is going to ace that, the ones who are going to ace that are going to win massively. And I see some similarities with the unbundling of Reddit, which has been a thing for years now. You see Reddit like as a platform serving multiple different communities.
Yes.
And then there's people, let's say in fitness or in accounting or whatever, who actually build a community platform solely for that specific group, and that platform serves them way better. I think the same is happening now in SaaS, and you see it with that guy that you also talk with every now and then, Anthony Riera.
Oh yeah,
who made this tool specifically for productized service agencies. I believe in these things, man. I think that there will be many, but there's also a lot of niches to serve. So yeah, vertical AI. If you have some kind of SaaS product that is, basically serving your customer's entire throughput system, you can apply AI way better. And I think the more human labor of your customers you can turn into software, the more you will win.
Yeah. Yeah. And for our customers at NoCo, the big question here is, of course, what will the impact be of vertical AI on, in this case, B2B SaaS? That's going to be an interesting one. Will the existing leaders be still lean enough to pivot and implement these things? So kind of the question I posed there, and I'm curious about your take.
Well, won't it just be a bit more fragmented?
Yeah, a bit more or a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. But also, I mean, you can basically now build your one-person business. Yeah, you get all the tools that you need to do that. Basically, you could now build a similar kind of product, like take Anthony Riera, for example. He built that. I think he built that product single-handedly.
Oh yeah, he did. I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Point made. So you can actually make a vertical SaaS as a one-person business, which I think it lowers the barrier of entry. So that is probably already a upward force for fragmentation. And like I said, there's so many niches, and I mean, take the real estate industry. You can divide that in so many niches.
Oh yeah, it's going to get highly hyper specialized, right?
Even
Hyper specialized.
even among real estate agents.
Yeah.
You know, like you can already divide that in like probably a lot of like different types of real estate agents. Anyhow, I was interrupting you.
No.
Go ahead.
No, not at all. No, but the point because it's such a fluid topic, right? It can go either way. Like we can't really predict the future. We can only sort of make some assumptions and some good guesses. But for what I find interesting for our customers at NoCo is what the impact will be and how we can help them navigate this space a little bit. And so we can't build their products or help them build their products. What we can think about is their proposition and sort of the development of their products and the choices that they make. Because it's going to be quite a rocky road, because on the one hand, as you also pointed out in your article, yeah, you can add features, to your B2B SaaS vertically in order to, like the example you gave in your article about the regulatory compliance tool added a task, sort of a task feature.
Yeah.
So you can add features, but then you also don't want to take your eye off the ball too much, right? So you want to also keep it focused enough. You can also add more generative tools for your users to sort of tailor their user experience to their needs using your product, if you know what I mean. There's a couple of angles here, and I'm just curious to know. It's going to be super interesting to see who will pivot the quickest, right? Because it's, basically the more widespread AI becomes and the more deeply integrated and sort of the way it accelerates, you can start a B2B SaaS today, be wildly successful for a couple of months, and then one new thing or one new technical development comes out from another angle, from the left field, and you're completely obsolete. So it's just
there's no customer loyalty to SaaS businesses in general.
There was. I mean, I remember this from the SaaS products I used myself. Definitely some loyalty, familiarity, and I don't think we should underestimate that either. Humans are human, so if I have a good AI and I got my system, a good UI, and I got my system all set up and my data in there, and it just works. And
of course,
we shouldn't underestimate that.
But maybe that loyalty can also come back the moment when you are, becoming more aligned with your customers. So let's say, let's take the regulatory change management product that we've built. There's so much expertise in that business, and we used to sell it solely as a product that facilitated that. And once we started to add all the knowledge that we had in that team, because we have actually some regulatory heavyweights in that team, you could see it like actually shift for the better. And all of a sudden people also see you, customers also see you as a source of knowledge regarding a lot of challenges that they have. Which I think, I mean, maybe I'm delusional on this one, but I don't think so. I think that actually bonds you more with the customer than when you solely offer a product.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's an interesting one as well. That could help create or sort of reduce churn or create lock-in and loyalty. I also think that because I'm constantly thinking, okay, how can we help our customer base specifically on this point?
Yeah.
And I think now more than ever, it's constantly assessing the pains and desired and required gains of their customers.
Yeah, but let's do a little,
because I think you really need to be even more on top of that. Quickly pivot, understand, pivot.
Well, let's do a little brainstorm here. So let's take it as a fact that this whole space is going to be ultra fragmented with all these like little niche solutions. What is the second order of consequence with that? Like, what is going to happen then? Because you probably have a lot of like one-man shows that build a product that are coming from certain domains, and they actually they got some engineering skills, and they can just build a product to serve that specific niche. You will have those. Probably they need some help with like the whole proposition, the brand, the marketing, the go-to-market, you know. But let's take like some larger companies and maybe VC-funded businesses. Like, what do you think these new challenges will be that Noco can help them with?
Well, to your first point, yes, I think there will be a lot of one-man shows there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if it's B2B and they want to serve, for example, larger companies, I shouldn't underestimate, like, there is also still a need for some sort of reassurance, right? And a sort of redundancy in terms of the product that they use, security, some more heavy duty security requirements. So I don't see it as a fact or as a sort of as a certainty that all these new solo SaaS products, vertically AI integrated SaaS products, will eat away, all the more established, more sort of heavy B2B SaaS companies. I don't see that happening right away, because what you often see in hype cycles, I think, is that sort of the assumption is that whatever's possible technologically will happen to the most extreme extent.
Yeah.
And what I saw in now multiple hype cycles is that what often gets overlooked is that humans remain humans. There's always the need for some familiarity, some reassurance that everything is okay, that it's not just, when one person dies, that the product doesn't exist anymore, that there's sort of an organization behind it or a team behind it that can sort of a fallback solution, if you know what I mean. Privacy concerns, security concerns will always be a thing.
Of course, yeah.
So, I'm thinking out loud here. Oh, talking with some consumption there, but do you catch my drift? Like, I think that in hype cycles, the human factor of, just wanting the reliability, the reassurance, the tangible reassurance that there is more behind that and that it has some solid ground under its feet, so that it will go on for years and it's worth investing their time in to implement it. I think that shouldn't be underestimated.
No, I agree. In a lot of cases, it's very hard to replace your current tech stack with other tools. I find it a hassle as well. But yeah, I mean, that's
also, sorry to interrupt you, but just to make an example, that is literally one of the reasons why, for example, you see many B2B SaaS and tech startups choose for a website partner like Noco. Because they know where we are. We are in Amsterdam. We actually have a team. We have a foothold. We are not, in Dubai, blasting out Framer websites. I'm not saying that's particularly wrong, but they can call us when there's a security issue or when they have different requirements. They're not, when someone is on holiday here, we can still, take their request.
Yeah. Well, I think to a certain extent that's true.
Yeah.
But I also like to believe that that's becoming less and less important.
It does less and less. I'm just saying that when you look at the whole the rise of vertical AI and the impact on SaaS, I think that it will be very much disrupted. But I also think that in B2B SaaS it will not go as fast as probably in the consumer market. That's my hunch. I could be completely wrong about this.
Yeah, okay, but what is a vertical SaaS and what is a vertical AI in the consumer market?
Well, there's plenty of consumer apps that are being used that sort of fit the description that you used in your article. There's plenty of that.
Yeah, well, I don't do that much consumer tech, but I do feel that the biggest gains are to be made in the B2B SaaS market. Just for this, like, the examples I just explained, like you have this company that's using like 10, 15, 20 tools just to run its business, spending tens of thousands of dollars, euros on all these products. It's yeah, and then it comes with a lot of headaches, right? And I think if you can pinpoint those, especially when it's also like high stakes stuff, you know, like with our regulatory change management tool, it's just like, being non-compliant as a bank can lead to some heavy fines. Also, it requires a lot of time from employees. You know, you need to set up this whole work group that needs to go through all these email chains to find out like how certain things came into existence. You know, like how are we actually compliant to this certain. Oh, we got a little dog here.
We got a doggy here.
Anyhow, yeah. Doggy.
It's too bad. It's too bad we can't put. It's too bad we can't put a camera on it right now. Yeah, put him in the shot. Put him in the shot. There he is. Well, there's Toki. That's you're on camera.
It's Toki's podcast.
Podcast. Woo!
Anyhow, the dog interrupted us.
Yeah, we had some
high stakes, vertical SaaS, software, businesses.
Yeah.
And
Help
how,
me.
And how okay, yeah, but we were talking about like how Noco can actually do something with that.
Right.
Like,
well, I think that, you know, in either case, we have a responsibility to keep our finger on the pulse of it and to publish to publish about keep our finger on the paw, to publish about it, to write about it. I mean, I dedicated my newsletter that went out yesterday. I dedicated it to this topic as well, because I think at least we have the responsibility to try and formulate a vision on it as to what will happen and what the impact will be on B2B SaaS. That's one. I think we should be a conversational partner for our customers, so they can pick our brain. We can, from our angle, we can give our vision on it. We can share the stuff that we come across online. As you know, you do the same thing. We always add bookmarks in our newsletters of interesting stuff. I actually have some interesting vertical AI bookmarks there as well, about cool examples of how fast the SaaS market is getting disrupted by all these tools like Replit and stuff. So that is one. I think we have to speak about it in public and also not be afraid to get it wrong, because like all hype cycles, you get some predictions right and most of them probably wrong. This goes for Y Combinator. This goes even for Andreessen Horowitz sometimes, you know. This goes for Michael Burry, you know, who was right during the 2008 housing crisis, but after that, not so much. So that is one thing, to make sure that the topic is top of mind, that our customers who are also very much focused on their product, building it out, making it better, also, you know, keep a broader view of things and pivot if necessary. That's one. Two is that I think for customers who have a B2B SaaS product or a startup that they're just developing, understanding the pains and gains of your audience is getting more important than ever. This is not a new concept, of course. We do the brand sprint. One very important element is the product messaging framework. So how to use phrases or messaging that resonates with the actual pain points or needs of your audience. And you know, you use value proposition canvas for that, of course. We do these sessions. And I think we might ideally do these sessions more often, more frequently with customers. And we have a fully remote system for that, because it is such a the dog is growling again. Because it is such a changing time. Things are changing so quickly. Things get obsolete so quickly. Things rise to the top so quickly. Whenever there's a new update, you see that with AI. Like first, OpenAI Sora was the bomb. Then people see a couple of clips of Google's, you know, generative AI video, and then that is much better, and Sora is shit. It's such a super fast changing of the hierarchy of the order that I think it's very, very important to keep your finger on the pulse extra well. And that's why we also did the brand sprint and one with the product messaging framework in there, to constantly tweak how you talk to your ICP. It might sound a little bit abstract, But if there's something no-code can do, in addition to keeping the website going, updating the website constantly, keeping it relevant with new landing pages, making sure that our customers have a flexible CMS where they can very quickly, self-sufficiently update, just, be nimble, in terms of content as well, quickly launch pieces of knowledge like white paper, books, resources that actually contribute some value to their user base to help them navigate through the landscape of all these SaaS tools and all these AI integrated SaaS tools. So I think those are the most important things. It's basically do what we always do, but be extra sharp and look for ways to keep our customers extra nimble and on their front feet, I would say. That's super important.
Yeah, and also,
we want our customers to actually have a new offering. If they call us, if they're on a subscription and they call me right now, or they launch a Trello request right now, then, figuratively speaking, don't pin me down on this, but figuratively speaking, if they want to have a new offering, including a full landing page, their tech stack connected, that should be done within 2 days.
Yeah.
That's how fast they should be able to respond to the market, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so that we have the systems for that, but I think we can, ironically enough, with the help of AI and some AI agents-like stuff, we can even help them in a quicker way, in a more nimble way.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not a fortune teller. Nobody is.
No, but I see some things that you were saying, and I think also the more niche a product is going to be, probably it's also like more interesting for you guys to actually work with it, because you can actually really resonate with this target audience. Like I could use, let's say, a tool like Intercom for all the customer communication on the website of my business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would drop them instantly if there's another tool that does the same for like half the price. Like I don't care. Whereas these more like niche focused products actually have a ability to build a relationship with their customers a bit more than what you see currently in SaaS, I guess. And I mean, that's interesting for you guys as well, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's already interesting when you see sort of leads coming in and you already, get introduced to use cases that you never even thought of. I had literally one today coming in our lead inbox. I can't mention, of course, which use case because it would be too obvious, but it was so hyper specific. It's like, oh yeah, of course. And then you dive into that a little bit and you find out why there is a need for this, and you come across all these reasons and needs that didn't even cross my mind once in my life. So to your point, imagine what will happen in terms of micro niches with vertical AI. There will be just such hyper specific stuff. But don't you also think that there will be a lot of generative interfaces where a user can just basically prompt its own UI workflow requirements within a certain domain?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, if you would ask this now within our development team, they would all say, no, it's not going to work right now. Because of the complexity of the products that we build, which is often also SaaS products. A lot of vertical SaaS as well. But I do think to a certain extent, AI is eating UI. That much I find true. But
to what extent do you think? Where do you see it sort of reach the threshold in terms of that UI is just too important or needs to be too sophisticated, so specific that it still has merit?
Yeah, hard question. But I mean, you get it. Look at the things that you can now do with a single prompt. And then by tying all these little LLMs and triggers all together in some kind of workflow with, for example, Lindy or whatever, that already gives a great example in a very simplistic way. By a single prompt, you can basically tie up all these different workflows together and generate the output for something that used to take, I don't know, way longer, multiple steps, multiple UIs. And so, I mean, it's quite clear that AI will eat UI. But if I look at the RegTech product that we have, it's, I see it having some impact on the UI, but at the same time, we still need the majority of it, right?
Yeah.
In some utopian scenario, banks wouldn't need any UI to be compliant with certain laws and regulations, but we're not there yet.
No, and also you have to take into account corporate inertia, right? Institutional inertia, if that makes sense. I mean, it's just, good luck with just completely disrupting the financial sector.
It's not that long ago that banks didn't want any AI in their within their regulatory change management processes. None. And I get it. I get it. You don't want GPT to write your
checks,
your controls. Like maybe it's not the best idea, but I do think that they're also waking up now. And there's so many things. There's all these like little steps going from a regulation all the way to, let's say, a policy document. And it can do a great job in identifying what parts of regulations are, of specific interest to a certain department at a bank. It can help you write policies based on all the other work that you did in the project. As long as you just have this human check on it, right? Bless you. We're gonna cut that out, or
whatever. Probably quite the audio spike. It's probably on par with Toki's.
People wearing AirPods are now deaf.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
Yeah. Anyhow, I feel like we're drifting off, but
speak for yourself. But no, sure.
Maybe I'm drifting up.
No, me as well. But it's late where we're doing this in the evening nowadays, which has its advantages.
I like it. I feel a little bit more mellow.
Yeah. I still prefer doing it on the crispy cold Saturday mornings.
Maybe we can bring them back one day.
I don't dislike it because I like doing this either way. But I do feel that it was a bit of bad luck as well, right? Because not last week but the week before, I got sick with the flu, and then the week after, what happened? We had a camera issue.
Yeah,
we made the crucial mistake of eating a lot of Chinese food after the normal working day. And
absolutely insane Chinese food, though. For anyone in Amsterdam, go to Oriental City.
Is that
that's financial advice?
Is that /West for a discount and affiliate for us? Yeah, no, it's really good, but the thing is just, your stomach is so full and it's just a silly mistake, and then your energy level is just not the same. So we did it in a better way this time. The only problem is I couldn't sleep last night. I woke up at like 3:30, and so it's basically, it's nothing. It's outside of your control, obviously.
Yeah,
but no, I
get
like
it.
doing
but
it.
We will return to the mean, and the mean here is that we've been spending week in, week out, at least like 1-2 days per week at the office in the evening. So we'll see if it's shitty to do that now. But I mean, longer days are ahead of us.
They can't come soon enough.
True. Where were we?
I don't know, man. I think we have one more item to go.
I got a little thing maybe you can start it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, this whole list of topics, and we're going to decide whether something is accelerationism or decelerationism.
Yeah, Excel or Decel.
Excel or Decel.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, okay. Well, let's do it. Who wants to start?
But I do think this list is complete bullshit. So if you are here for the knowledge, and you better
get
ready for
right
some
now.
absolutely
Okay,
idiotic
maybe
takes.
we'll go for a nice clip. So, Excel or Decel?
Who's starting? You start.
That's Decel. If you were really Excel, you would have said I've started.
Yeah, but I just want you to start, man. I think you're good at these things, to
Okay.
like basically
Like reading up lists.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're very good at that.
Okay, so here we go. Accelerationism or Decelerationism with Wes Butman.
So, Excel.
Wes Butman, great guy. Okay, so here we go. Home-baked sourdough bread.
Excel.
Living in a Western European city center.
What is that thing doing on that list?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've got mixed feelings about that, man. I'd say decel.
Yeah, it's very decel. Living in the country.
No, hold on. No. It's not very decel. It accelerated me quite a bit, but I just find it decel now. I used to find it excel.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
continue.
Yeah. Living in the countryside, but with Starlink.
Yeah, dude. Without Starlink, it's also Excel. But
yeah. Good point.
Yeah, Excel.
American spirits.
Excel.
Hyper acceleration.
I mean, it makes you solve problems faster. Smoking American spirits, that's for sure.
Well documented.
Mm-hmm. It is well documented and scientifically proven.
Yeah. No, I wasn't even like ironic. Okay.
Okay.
No alcohol.
Excel. Dude, really? 100% Excel.
I mean, listen. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, you probably come with this whole thing that it has like a place in society and blah. Yeah, I get that, but you're not a fucking philosopher, man. You don't need alcohol.
I'm a wannabe pseudo philosopher.
Yeah.
That also counts.
Yeah, you're not some kind of Bukowski, that is.
No, but listen, I'm with you here.
Yeah.
I mean,
so why do you come with diesel then?
I didn't. I did the buzzer.
Oh, okay. You just like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Food prepping.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EU AC.
Diesel. Well, hold on. I feel like I need to make some explanation here. I think in general, the idea is
diesel.
Excel. But I do think that there's a large part of that community that is not really grasping what it should do.
Yes, and they are not grasping it at all.
Anyhow,
I wrote if you want to be entertained, I wrote a rant about it on my X. So
I think there's already a clear contrast between that one that Peter Level started, which is EU AC official, I think.
Yeah,
and then there's also this account called EU AC HQ, which are like basically they were
communists
reposting something of like some neo-communistic party in Europe, and I was like, dude, are you fucking real?
But that was not the one. So I'm going to give like the EU AC a pass for that because it's outside of their control. But even the sort of official EU AC is decel in the sense that they do not have the historical context, and they're not. It's not a polymath thing. It's not. It's from the tech angle, and I get it, and from the business angle, while you're clicking buttons on a in an Asian country. Because you're a digital nomad. Like, listen, man. I'm going to just.
I get your point here.
It's decel.
This is by far the best that we can get right now.
Yeah, but maybe I don't settle for that.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Dutch act, baby. Follow our Spotify. Okay.
Okay, next.
Lex Fridman.
Decel. Yeah, sorry, man.
Can we talk about love?
Dude, next one. I can't stand that guy. Go on.
But, my dear friends...
Synthwave. You're pissing me off right now.
Synthwave.
100% Excel.
Accelerationism at its finest, purest. Yeah, again, go to Spotify, Dutch/AC by work in progress.
Okay.
I don't know why this is on the list. LED light.
Yeah, that's decel.
That's decel. Yeah, I agree. Geo arbitrage.
We're sitting here we're bathing in LEDs, but okay. It is decel.
Yeah, it is very decel. Geo arbitrage.
Excel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or retarded.
I wouldn't say it's retarded. I think it should be done by those that can utilize it just to keep your government in check.
Okay, I agree. Excel.
Excel.
Button clicking in Bali.
Decel.
decel. Yeah, then nothing really happens there. Jerry,
I've been on Bali many times.
on vacation.
On vacation, but yeah, you know what I do on vacation. I'm still working, so
Right.
I went to Dojo, you know, like the renowned Bali co-working, and I love the place. Great place, but I was just sitting. There were a couple of guys like doing actual like some coding, you know, some people you could actually see build a business, but like the vast majority was just like making banners, you know, like designing banners. And like, what are you guys doing, man?
Decel.
Diesel.
Thierry Breton. Sacre bleu.
Why is that even in the list?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't make the list.
You didn't make the list.
No, our viewers just,
Yeah.
suggestions.
Yeah. No, Thierry Breton. I love that guy, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is he Excel?
He is. Like his haircut is 100% XL.
Yeah.
But no,
His policies were
I'm
decel.
kidding. He is. I think he is probably. If Decelerationism had like some kind of mascot, it would be.
That would be Thierry
It
Breton.
would be Thierry Breton.
I think
yeah,
Elon would agree as well.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
All right. That was it.
Okay. Second part of the list.
Oh, no.
Dutch East India Company.
The purest historical example of accelerationism.
I think the genesis of accelerationism.
Yeah. I agree.
Astronauts.
Very decel. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Dude, they're going to fucking space, man.
Yeah. Space. Yeah,
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Space.
I mean, look, when you grew up like myself and yourself, I think as well in the
Wubbo
90s.
Okkels time. The Wubbo Okkels
like
era.
those ESA astronauts, like the thing with astronauts that pisses me off is that when astronauts go into space.
What? Who says that? The thing about astronauts that pisses me off. I've never heard someone saying that. Okay, but continue.
I reiterate, the thing about astronauts that really pisses me off is that they come back, basically just emasculated because it's, you go up there and then yes, you see the Earth as a vulnerable blue ball surrounded, protected by a thin layer. Can I finish my story? By a thin layer of, I let you ramble about crypto and Bali the whole podcast. So let me say something about astronauts.
Go.
So they're in space and then they see the Earth as this vulnerable blue ball, the Earth perspective, with this thin layer of atmosphere, protecting it, and we're so vulnerable and we're all alone. I get it. It's beautiful, praise God. It's amazing. The problem is when astronauts return to Earth, they have this complex, this blue Earth or blue globe complex, which turns them into sustainability nutcases. It really is. And then because they are astronauts and they're sort of local heroes. No, listen to me. This is very important, Westy. So the government will just spend endless money subsidizing their silly little projects, because mostly academia, right? And then you get all these weird, completely unfeasible projects, but they still get the promotion from it because they have been into space.
The astronauts, man.
The astronauts, they've been into space, but they just like Wubbo Okkels. He spent
this is a Wubbo Okkel complex, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know, but it's just I feel lied to. It's very decel to answer your question. What's more? What's more on the list?
Geoscotty.
Excel.
I get that.
Yeah, accelerationism at its
D2C.
finest purest.
Direct to consumer.
Excel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Yeah, decel, man.
Original ethos of crypto.
Excel.
Okay, so there's like some nuance.
Yeah, I'm a reasonable guy. I'm a reasonable guy.
Kids. Kids. Like as in children.
Oh, accelerationism, man. Excel.
Working from home.
Yeah, decel.
Fossil fuels.
Excel.
People are going to get triggered by this, man.
I don't care.
2008 Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh, accelerationism at its finest. Golden era of cars.
Trump Inauguration.
Excel.
We're on the roll here. Lots of Excel. Tap water.
Yeah, decel.
Dude, you have this thing about tap water.
What?
What is that machine called again that you bought? Like what do you call these?
I bought a while ago. I bought a water distiller. This big kettle, and it's just a very rudimentary distilling process.
You feel like an alchemist doing that, don't you?
It's fun. And then, there's so many opinions about if that's the good water to drink. I don't care. But at least I had the feeling like, okay, at least some heavy metals out there.
And then you remineralize it and
add some
electrolyzed.
It's super simple, yeah. And then also they say you should vortex it or something where you have to stir it really hard because there's like the vortex, electromagnetic, I don't know. But the thing is, I used to do that in the city where I lived and it worked very well.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I moved to Amsterdam, and I do a batch of distilled water, there is this little taste and smell that it just makes me puke.
Yeah, it's on purpose. They don't like you kind of people. All these
probably. So so right now I'm just buying, I guess, mineral water, in bottles and stuff from glass bottles if I can. But I don't know what's true. But I am planning to do a Berkey, like this Berkey gravity-based water filter, like the big one. That Andrew Huberman talks about.
Okay.
So I am slowly but surely also falling victim to the neurotic over-optimization. But yeah. So tap water decel, man. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Decel.
I guess so. But they're accelerating tap water in the US now by removing... what are they removing?
Fluoride. Yeah, but the thing is, that's important to note in within the EU... whatever that means, it's already, I think, forbidden, restricted to add fluoride.
Okay. So in a way, Europe is accelerating.
I guess when it comes to tap water, I guess.
Okay.
I guess so.
This one is very tricky for you. And you're allowed to have a little lie every here and there. Product managers.
Excel.
Domain experts.
Decel.
We were just talking about vertical SaaS, vertical AI.
Domain experts. Knowledge workers.
Do you find it on par with knowledge workers? Because you could also be a domain expert in I don't know, like carpentry or something, or.
That's a different story, man. Yeah. No, you're right. No, but it's just the phonetics of it. That's what I mean when I say decel. Okay. Because it can mean anything, right?
It's just like probably overused by all these corporate consulting firms.
Exactly.
So exactly. That's why you find it decel. Yeah. Okay.
Body in the city where the heat is on.
Brings me to the next one. Carpenters.
Accelerationist.
Okay. Bootstrap SaaS.
Excel?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This podcast?
Yeah,
it takes way too long to answer that, man. That's ridiculous.
I find it difficult to say.
No, that's true. We'll let the viewers decide.
I mean, we're hitting like 2 subscribers now. So
no, man. We finally broke.
I don't feel like I'm accelerating yet.
No, but this is like.
We broke 4 followers now.
Yeah. We have a few.
How many do we have?
I think 18 or something
18?
on YouTube, or just 18? On YouTube alone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, some more on X. We actually broke our own bubble. We broke through our own bubble. So that's an accomplishment. Okay, let's wrap this baby up. I had fun. Thank you, Wes.
Well, thank you, Ian.
Yeah, man.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. I don't believe you. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Hasta luego.
Yes. Bye-bye. Ciao.